This video will be episode 26, starting on day 186 of the Black Lion Origins campaign. Last episode we attacked the Vlandians, sacking caravans, villages, and noble warbands. And we amassed a pretty good fortune. And then we took that fortune and traveled around all these Battanian towns and spent it up on noble bows, long noble bows for my clan members. So we're pretty well geared out with optimal weapons, and so we're in a pretty good position to move on to kind of the next stage of the game, in my opinion. Oof. Man. Oh. Okay. So I just took a boatload of damage here. That's never the plan. Ordinarily, what I would do is I would skirt the cavalry as we were, riding right at each other, and then I would attack the infantry once or twice, and then run around and attack the enemy cavalry from behind as they try to engage my infantry. But that didn't happen this time. I got plowed by these infantry, and I just got emotional about it, I'm sure, and decided to stick around and see how many of these stinkers I can take out before they take me out. And the answer to that is all of them, which is great. But yeah. Anyway, I was talking about how I'm ready to move on to the next stage of my game. I'm not quite ready. I've still got this war going on with the Vlandians. I'm not terribly interested in continuing the war with them. The only reason why I am still at war with them is because, well, a long time ago I started a war with them, and now I've contracted to fight for the Sturgeons in a war against the Vlandians, and we're going to finish out the war as their mercenaries, so that when a peace deal is struck, our clan will be included in that peace treaty, and we won't have to pay a price for that peace, which is pretty preferable. But once that's done, we'd really like to be at war with the Battanians. They, the Warlord scale boots are the best in slot boots in the game. They're both the lightest and the most armor class. Well, they're pound for pound the best boots in the game. They're top armor class. They may not be the lightest boots, but they've absolutely got the most armor class. And of all of the best in slot weapons, or I'm not weapons, excuse me, armor in the game, it's the easiest to farm, because they drop off of, like, I want to say like 3 or 4 or 5 of the Battanian troops. I think it's 4, if we're being honest. I couldn't tell you for sure what the number is, but I think it's 4. I can name 3 off the top of my head. The Fee Enchant, the tier 5 Fee Enchant drops them. The tier 5 Horseman drops them. And the tier 5 Infantry, the Oathsworn, drops them. I think they might even come off of, like, the Falksmen, either the Veteran or the tier 5. But I'm not sure. So that's one of the reasons why we want to be at war with the Battanians. I'd like to be farming that. Even their caravans have gear that I'm interested in getting. The um, the helmet that drops off of like almost all of their cavalry is the ridged helm, which at its base has an armor class of 86, or not 86. My gosh, that would make it by far the best in the game. The the base armor class for the helm is um, 46. So legendary, it'll be 58, which would be a big upgrade for my character right now. So even their caravan has gear worth getting. The ranger armor will drop off of their troops too, and also the reinforced chainmail or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's their tier 5. Their main tier 5 armor is a pretty rare drop off of their troops, in the caravans as well. So yeah, there's some good farming to be done. Would be an upgrade, even in the caravans. So, and then we'd really like to be able to start a king. Ladagal had twins on summer the 21st. We had a boy and a girl. The girl is Ira, and the boy is Furcreed, which is fantastic. It's it's always a big win to to get a boy in there. Um, the girls will be nice. So we did finally get our piece, and look at that. The Vlandians are paying nearly 7,000 gold a day to the Sturgeons. We definitely contributed to that, so we won't benefit from that, but we can have some pride in what a great sum they managed to get for their peace deal. So what I did is I looked up to see who the Battanians were at war with, and it turns out they're at war with the Khuzaits. And so we're going to head down south to Kiev and see if we can't find someone to contract under so that we can war with the Battanians and farm those boots. And we found the Sultan here, and but I'm trying to figure out how to sign up as a mercenary for him, and he's only giving me an option to be his vassal. I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to do that. But yeah, I can't figure it out. So I'm talking to another noble, and he hasn't given me any options either. So at this point, I'm thinking maybe I'm too high a clan tier in order to work as a mercenary anymore. But I know that can't be right, because I've worked as a mercenary when I was clan tier 6 before. So I'm gonna go and talk to one of these Battanians. Maybe they'll hire me as a mercenary. So I find Batron here, and he's like, "No, can't hire you as a mercenary, you idiot." And so I was like, "Okay, well, you think I'm an idiot? I'm gonna go ahead and attack you." And he's like, "What do you mean you're gonna attack me? You can't attack me. You don't have the authority to attack me." And that really clues me in, because you can't start wars as a mercenary, and that's what I would have been doing. I had kept my mercenary contract with the Sturgeons so that I could I still had a bunch of influence under them, and I wanted to continue to be paid while I set up my next mercenary contract. And so, realizing that, I dropped my Sturgeon mercenary contract, and finally was able to secure a mercenary contract under the Khuzaits for 190 gold, which is substantial. Our other mercenary contract with the Sturgeons netted us like 140, 130, something like that, per influence, which is pretty miserly. So I got my contract, and then to get out here to the Battanians, and the flippin' war with the Battanians and the Aserai has ended. I think I've been calling them Khuzaits all this time. I might be wrong. But anyway, their war has ended. They're at war with the Southern Empire. And that's no good for me at all. And I'm ready to be at war with the Battanians, and so I go ahead and drop that mercenary contract and declare war myself, under the pretense that we suffered grievous insult from Batron in our exchange. And yeah, we can chalk all this up to, you know, a concussion due to a head injury that our hero suffered during our last battle. Yeah. Anyway, so we're finally at war with the Battanians. Another reason why we want to be at a war with the Battanians is they've got these beautiful archers in their ranks. And while I don't love to be taking prisoners and recruiting prisoners, I will in the case of Fiends for sure. And also, you know, if I were to take a Battanian castle, then I could recruit those Fiends myself. If you don't remember, it is a rule that I've set for myself whenever playing any Battanian, or not Battanian, but Bannerlord's campaign, is that I don't recruit troops from fiefs unless I own that fief. So we would benefit a lot from owning Battanian castles, because that's where you get being champions, which I feel are easily, and nobody's really arguing the fact that they're the best unit in the game. People will make videos debating. They'll say, "Oh no, the Consguard's the best," or some other thing, you know. But really, the Battanian Fiend champions are the best because they are the only tier 6 infantry troop in the game, which means not only are they're going to have the most athletics of any troop in the game, which, as we can see just watching my character level up, is a big deal in foot combat. They're also, you know, the best archers in the game because they're on foot. So they're more accurate, and the fact that they're on foot means that it doesn't take horses to upgrade them. So you can recruit them from any Battanian village attached to a Battanian castle, and you can upgrade them all the way to tier 6. Like if you've got 125 stewardship skill and have the right perks, you can just donate armor and weapons to them and pick them up at tier 2, I think is what they start out at. Pick them up at tier 2 and upgrade them all the way to tier 6 without having to amass a bunch of horses, which later in the game isn't a big deal, but early in the game it's quite a big deal. Trying to have enough horses to upgrade your troops. So anyway, yeah, they're the best shock troops, they're the best archers, and they're the only tier 6 infantry, so my case is, I believe, closed on that matter. Debatably the best shock troops because the Sturgeons have their axe wielding stock troops in the shock troops in the line breakers, but even the line breakers, like it's very beneficial to have your shock troops using an axe, but because you know they can get double kills, but the battalions, the Fian champions, they're using a two-handed sword, which is going to be a lot faster than those axes, and they've already got more two-handed skill and athletics than those shock troops, so they win there too, I believe. Anyway, we've used a retreating strategy against this enemy in order to secure a win without any losses, which is a beautiful thing. Even though we only outnumbered them by like 15 troops, I think.
Stop that.
I won't bother when I outnumber them 5 to 1, like I do now. But yeah, the bulk of the time, my strategy is to have really good archers, find a good spot for them, sit them down where that good spot is, and then go and attack. and they pretty well take care of themselves. Cavalry don't do well against like, despite popular opinion, cavalry don't do well charging into ranks of infantry that are trying to kill them. Especially not once you get those Fiend champions, because they shoot quicker than these crossbowmen, and that is a big deal when dealing with cavalry. Always got to compete in tournaments when they come up, when they're in towns that you're already in anyway. We don't want to be fighting Nathan here, because I'd like for his team to get second place in this round of the tournament so that he can carry on to the next round. But he didn't give me much choice. He was going to run me down, but it didn't much matter because I could just run over and take out the last guy on the blue team and then move on to Nathan's teammate. So he did make it in the next round here, and we're going to try and put ourselves in a position where we're not the main focus of everyone. We clumped them all up at the same time. We weren't able to keep Nathan in the tournament much longer. He went down and like first in this round, so that's too bad. But we still, well, we're gonna be knocking Corain out in this round, so I don't know. The reason why I like to keep a teammate, a clan member, in the tournament until the last round, because then once we get to the last round, win or lose, we're still gonna get the reward for the tournament, and that's a big deal because the reward is a weapon, and I always like to smelt those weapons because usually they will net you patterns, blacksmithing patterns, and I don't have any blacksmithing patterns for one-handed swords as of yet, and would like to do that because we're going to be leveling up our one-handed sword here soon. Anyway, this has been episode 26 of the Black Lion Origins campaign, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.